episode of the Diz Ability Show live. So, this week, I want to talk about some tips for navigating the summer crowds. Now, in the past, the summer was the peak season for visiting the parks. But in this day and age, the parks aren't as crowded in the summer as they used to. Because it's hot in Florida. But still, some people still go to the parks during this time of year, and I always make sure, always tell people if you go to the parks this summer, wear a cooling towel and neck fans. They are a lifesaver, literally. Uh, and and when you do, and make sure that you get as plenty of AC as you possibly can when you go to the parks. And like we always say, when we rope drop, we do the smaller rides first, and let the big crowds take care of the bigger rides, and then you do the big rides. Do what you can to have fun, but at the same time, do what you can to keep yourself cool. So anyway, that's my tip. As always, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live, or in the comments if you're watching this later, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. And now it's time for this week's Top 5. So, this past Wednesday was Disneyland's 69th birthday, and there are some great rides at the Disneyland Resort that we don't have at Walt Disney World. So this week, we are going to cover my top 5 Disneyland exclusive attractions. Number 5, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Now, this was a ride that used to be on both coasts. But then in the 90s, they got rid of Mr. Toad in Florida and put Winnie the Pooh there. Which I love Winnie the Pooh. It's a great ride, but a lot of people miss Mr. Toad, and it's still in Disneyland, which is great. A lot of people hope that it never goes away because it is such a fun attraction and a great nod to one of the lesser known Disney animated classics. Hi, Gina Valdez. Good to have you here. Make sure you subscribe. As I was saying, we are covering my top 5 Disneyland exclusive attractions. Number 4, Pinocchio's Daring Journey. Now, this is another great ride. Of course, when my mom rode both Pinocchio and Mr. Toad back to back last time we went to Disneyland, they said both rides are kind of sinister, but you have to realize those movies were made back in Walt Disney's time, so there has to be some sort of sinister like moral in the story. But still, it's a great ride. It and of course it has a happy ending and it's very cute. Number 3, speaking of cute, the Storybook Land Canal Boats. Now, this is a very fun boat ride where you see miniature versions of homes of various Fantasyland, Disney storybook characters, and it's like the Jungle Cruise, but without the puns, pretty much. GGG, this is not a song request show. but make sure you subscribe. Anyway, number 2 on my top 5 Disneyland exclusive attractions. Yeah, I am Ryan Sykes. Make sure you subscribe. My number 2 in my top 5 Disneyland exclusive attractions. Uh, Grizzly River Run at Disney's California Adventure. This is their version of Kali River Rapids. And what's nice about this ride is they adjust the water during the seasons. So if it's the winter, it won't you won't get soaked as much. But if you're gonna ride Grizzly River Run in the summer, you may need a poncho. Pretty much. And my number 1 Disneyland Resort exclusive attraction. Am I tired of taking? What's that supposed to mean? Anyway, and my number 1 Disneyland Resort exclusive attraction, Radiator Springs Racers. This is like their version of Test Track, but I believe it is much better. It has because because of the characters and the various show scenes and the big race around the outside with the bank turns and the hills. It it's so much fun. I love anything that's cars related and anything that involves racing. So this ride is like heaven to me. So let me know in the chat or in the comments what your favorite Disneyland exclusive ride is. And now it is time for Diz or Dat. So on both coasts, you will find a sort of rustic style hotel. At Walt Disney World, it's the Wilderness Lodge, which is beautiful. It 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 has great rustic theming, and of course, one of our favorite restaurants, Whispering Canyon. And at the Disneyland Resort, it's the Grand Californian Resort and Spa. Now, it is a DVC hotel, and it it's like as if Grand Floridian and Wilderness Lodge had a baby. And you got a piano player like they do at the Grand Floridian. They have a little DVC place where you can go into. And of course, it has its very own entrance into Disney's California Adventure. So it's the only American hotel that has its own entrance into one of the parks. I say only American because there are some international Disney hotels that do that as well. So let me know in the chat or in the comments which rustic hotel you prefer, Diz, Wilderness Lodge, or Dat, Grand Californian. And now it is time for my humble opinion. So, Epcot's World Showcase hasn't had a new pavilion since '88 when Norway was added. But I think there is still some room for Disney to put in a new World Showcase pavilion somewhere. And I would personally love Australia to be represented in Epcot's World Showcase. And I'm sure a lot of parents of Bluey fans would probably think the same thing. But but yeah, I know in the past there was a rumor of an Australian Disney park, but that idea I think has been shelved for years. But I would love to see Australia. DeMarcus, no, I am fat with a PH. There's a difference, you know. Uh, but I would love to see Australia represented in Epcot's World Showcase. Random person, what's that supposed to mean? No, this stream is not going to crash. Thank you very much. Anyway, I would love to see Australia represented in Epcot's World Showcase. That's my humble opinion, and I'm sticking to it. No need for donations, DeMarcus. No need for donations. This is just a fun stream where I talk all things Disney for people with disabilities. There is no need to donate any money. This is just me sharing my love of Disney with all of you. Salad. No, I do not. Enough. Enough of that, okay? Anyway, so with D23 right around the corner, anyway, with D23 right around the corner, there a big rumor has been dropped of a Moana themed water flume attraction. So, at the previous D23 Expo, they put a blue sky of Moana replacing Dinoland USA and Animal Kingdom. But of course, back at Destination D, they decided to replace that idea with a I don't know when Moana 2 is getting here. I think sometime this fall. But of course, at Destination D, they said they're going to put in Tropical Americas. No, I don't think that's true, DeMarcus. I don't think that's true. Now it's Tropical Americas. I am not a fan of this Tropical Americas because Encanto, I have said many times, does not really fit the idea of Animal Kingdom. So, with that, does that mean that Disney's going back to the old Moana idea for Animal Kingdom? Maybe. But like I said, with D23 right around the corner, I'm sure we'll get a very good idea of what we are getting. And of course, after the parks conference at D23, I will be going live on here after that next month and doing a review of everything they announce for the park. So stay tuned for that in the future. So anyway, that's my show. As I said, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live or in the comments if you're watching this later, and I'll make sure it gets to do a future episode for this week's shoutouts. Make sure you guys check out my buddy Mike over at Chasing Magic. He is currently on his honeymoon. Definitely check him out. Also, make sure you guys check out my pal Amy over at Rocking at Disney with Amy, or RAD for short. She does amazing videos and live streams of some of the best entertainment, not just at Disney, but in Orlando in general. Definitely check her out. Also, make sure you guys check out my friend Tamia over at Tamia Smiles. She posts a lot of great content on her YouTube and her Instagram. Definitely check her out. Also, make sure you guys check out Anthony the Molar Man. I'm sure he'll be doing another season of Disney Match Game very, very soon. Definitely check him out. If you haven't subscribed here yet to the Big John Network, what in the Walt Disney World are you waiting for? And ding the bell for notifications so you never miss a second of the fun. And until next time, Quadarina.